too slow.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Nelson, and welcome to Let's Talk Tuesday, episode number 9. And today I'm a little bit frustrated because I tried to do this commentary 3 or 4 times before, and the subject I was doing it on just wasn't rolling off my tongue very well, and I wasn't getting my words out straight. And so I'm changing it up, and I'm going to try to talk about my second girlfriend instead of talking about friends and my favorite summer, which I will do that topic again in the future. It was actually a really good topic. I don't know why I couldn't talk about it today, but sometimes that'll happen. So now I'm going to talk about my second girlfriend. I think it's kind of a funny story, and I've only had 2 girlfriends. Yes, I can admit that. I'm 17, and I'm, whatever. I don't really care. It's really whatever. But yeah, my second girlfriend, I ended up going to school with this girl, and I'm not going to say her name, of course. But I knew her from school a little bit, and I started talking to her a lot on Facebook. She messaged me, and she was very outgoing, and I really liked that. And she ended up asking for my number, and I gave her my number, and then like 5 seconds later, I got a phone call, and what do you know? She is talking to me as someone who is, she's like pretending to be like a solicitor or something, or no, a surveyor, and I thought that was really funny. I was like, okay, that's kind of weird, but pretty bold, I guess, and that's a good thing. And she was very pushy towards wanting to hang out and all that, and I guess I took that as a compliment, and she was complimenting me and very nice, and we ended up talking more for a few more days, and we ended up planning on her coming over to hang out on a Sunday at my house or something, and she ended up coming over, and we walked around the neighborhood and talked more and watched a movie and all that stuff, and then she went home, and I'm sorry if you could hear that phone in the background, that's someone giving me a call right now, so. But we ended up talking, and she went home, and we were texting more for like a couple more days after that, and we ended up deciding we should go into a relationship and date, I guess. And for me, that's very iffy. I will never say I love you in a relationship, because love, I find, is a very, very, very strong word, and I'm not going to say that to someone unless I really, really mean it, and I'm not going to love somebody after knowing them for a few months. And it just doesn't work like that for me, and she understood that too, I guess. But where am I? So we ended up going out, made it FB official, because it's not official until it's FB official. You guys know that, right? And one thing to note here before I get into the drama is I did end up bailing on her 2 times because I was sick. So I will admit that right now, I did end up bailing on her twice. But that's no means for her to do what she did, I guess. So I was sitting at home one day, and I was sick, and I ended up getting a message from some really large dude on Facebook, and I was like, all right, who's this guy? And he's like, hey, Nelson, are you that man who's, are you the dude who's, or no, are you the scrub who's dating this girl? And I'm like, yeah, man, I am. No need to call me scrub, douchebag. And he's like, oh, I'm just trying to make sure she's a really good girl. Don't be mean to her, right? And every single word is spelled wrong. And at this point, I already know what's going on. I'm already like, okay, all right, a little bit of trust issues here. I think she's trying to check in on me, making a fake Facebook account. And that person, this account, only had 1 friend, and guess who it was? It was her. So how stupid are you if you're going to make an account, and you're going to have her as your only friend, and you're going to tell me you just made a Facebook and messaged me to ask me about her and talk to me about her? And I was like, okay, that's funny. And he's like, oh yeah, man, give me a call. I'd love to talk to you about her. I'm like, yeah, that'd be great, actually. Give me your number. And he gave me his number, and it was like I called it, and it was like a Walgreens number. And I was like, okay, man, you gave me the wrong number. No big deal. People do that. They forget their number. Sarcastic. And he gave me Walgreens number, and I was like, you gave me the wrong number. And he's like, oh, sorry, man, my phone's dead. Call me on my iPod after I get back from wrestling. I gotta go. See ya. And he was like rushing out of it and all that. And I was like, okay, it's funny. I'm gonna call my girlfriend up. So I called her and told her about this person, and she's like, yeah, I think I've heard him before. He's kind of weird. Just, forget about him. Try to ignore him. He's a weirdo. And I'm like, okay, are you sure? And I'm like, I think someone might be making a fake Facebook account. I'm not sure. And she's like, oh, don't, just forget about it. People make fake Facebooks all the time. It's not that big of a deal. I'm like, it is a big deal. I'm taking it a little bit out of proportion than I normally would, because I want to see if she's going to crack and admit that it's her. Because at this point I know it's her, but I'm just waiting to see how long she's going to lie and say that it's not. And then eventually I'm like, are you sure you didn't make this account? You can come out and tell me and be honest, and I'll forget about it. And she was like, no, I swear, I promise it's not me. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to find this person's IP address. And I was just joking around, obviously, but she didn't know that. And so I hang up, and she gives me a call back about 5 minutes later. And if she called me back and was like, oh, Nelson, I'm sorry, I was just, you bailed on me twice, I just want to see if you were still into me. and I was testing you because I know girls can do that sometimes. But she calls me up instead, and she's like, F you took it way too serious, I was just having some fun with some friends. And not only is that very immature for her to make that account and call me up cursing me out, but it's also very non-trustworthy. How am I going to be able to trust you when you could lie to me and tell me you promise it's not you? That's the main reason why. And then I pulled the whole, oh, maybe we should be friends and get to know each other better, and that totally pissed her off, and she went off the chain there and freaked out. And, you know, I took it, and I was like, alright, and I didn't yell back or anything. And so I guess that was the end of that. She ended up blocking me, and we moved on. And she has a lot of people blocked on her Facebook though, so it's not just me. She's a little bit, I guess she's a little bit weird in a way, but I'm not trying to bash on her or anything. That's just the story, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And now I guess I'll touch a little bit on the gameplay. This is some Moab gameplay on the map Seatown. I'm using the P90 Silence with Rapid Fire. It's actually my first game I played the other day, and it's my 9th Moab. I now have 10, but you know, this one's more interesting than the other one, and 6 out of my 10 Moabs are on Hard Hat, which is pretty funny. Hard Hat is my map, as you guys probably already know. And in the last video, I put up a Funtage Battlefield 3. First video I've done like that I've edited myself, and I added the music in it and all that. And I'm glad you guys liked it. It got a decent amount of views, and you know, I was happy with it. I thought I did a pretty decent job, and I might try to do them more in the future. And I'll tell you what, guys, Battlefield 3, having a lot of fun playing it lately. Having a lot of fun playing it. It's a good game. It really is, and I'm glad I got back into playing it. I didn't want to play it before because I didn't have to sit through like a 2-hour update before just to play the game. And so I finally did the update, and now I'm glad I did, because it's really worth it. And if you guys haven't tried it out, I recommend you do. So yeah, also another thing really quick before I let you guys go is thank you for the activeness on the last few videos. I really appreciate that you guys have commented and liked and all that, and what that does is lets Matt and I know that we're not just talking to walls. We're actually have some people listening to our videos, and it makes us more motivated to put videos out more frequently, which I would hope you guys would like to see. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I got. I think I'm going to end here a little bit early, but if you guys did enjoy this, please leave a like to let us know. And that was pretty much my story. Thank you, It's Prez, for the recommendation, and I will see you guys later. Bye.